Welcome to our Thursday evening class. I am Patty. I will be your instructor. Thank you for joining me. If you pop in, drop me a thumbs up or a quick hello so I know that you're here. If you have a yoga block or a blanket, something similar that you can use this evening, that might be beneficial. I'm going to hold tight and see if folks join us this evening. My friend Sherman here, my cat, is going to be online for us tonight. But welcome again to Thursday's Yoga Online. We'll get started in just a moment. I'll wait to see if I can see some folks logging in or viewing from home. Thank you again for joining me. I'll eventually move the cat off my mat and get settled in for the evening. But again, if you have a yoga mat or a bolster, blanket, a pillow, something nearby that you could use as a prop, it would be beneficial. You don't have to have a yoga block, but something just a little bit of thickness. Again, a pillow, couch cushions work great. Whatever you have at home that works, that will certainly come in handy. So this will be a nice beginner to intermediate class tonight. I'll offer modifications along the way if we need it, but I will go ahead and get started 7 o'clock so I can keep us on time for the evening. Again, thank you for joining me, and let's get started on our backs. We are going to come all the way down on our backs. This is a Panasana. Literally is called the wind release pose. So if you're at home, it's okay by yourself. But you're going to hug your knees into your chest. Your back stays on the ground. And this is a nice back release. Nice calming pose. I'm going to move the cat, hopefully, so you can see me. You can cross your ankles if that's comfortable, but you're just going to settle in onto your mat. Feel the earth along your body. Give yourself a nice hug after a long day. We are settling in for the evening. We're going to start in this pose. We're going to come back to it again. But right now, draw your knees into your chest, hugging your knees, keeping your knees in close, nearby your body. And maybe give yourself a nice little squeeze as you inhale, and on the breath out, let go a little bit. So tiny, tiny movement. Inhale in. Give yourself a little squeeze. Draw your legs in. And on the exhale, relax your legs just a little bit away from your chest as your belly expands. Take another big breath in. And exhale out. Another big breath in. And out. Do this a couple more times on your breath. However long it takes you to inhale and exhale. We all have a different rhythm. If you practice the Ujjayi breath, you can breathe in through your nose and exhale out your nose, creating that ocean rhythmic sound. And if it's comfortable, give yourself a gentle rocking side to side. Just small movements. Feeling that mini massage on your back. In a moment, we're going to work our side bodies, our abs, our core. So this little massage is a nice opening, awakening pose. It's kind of like child's pose, but in reverse. Maybe rock pose. We're all tucked in into this nice little comfortable pose. So now we're going to do a couple stretches to the side. We're going to extend our legs up to the sky. We're not going to take legs up the wall just yet. You're going to lower. You can help your legs down to the side, over to the side. Your arms can be extended in a T. They can be bent into cactus. You can have one arm on your upper hip. So if your legs are off to the right, just a little side stretch here. You're going to feel it through your left body, all the way from your left fingertips down the rib cage, through your side, through your hips. Feel a nice, great big stretch here. This is a wonderful pose to do in the morning, even before you get out of bed. And just stretch. And with control, you're welcome to help your legs back up to the center. Pausing here before dropping your legs. I gotta make sure the cat's not in the way. Drop your legs down to the left. Again, your arms can be bent like goalpost or cactus arms. It can be outstretched like a T if you have enough space around you. Feel that stretch this time along your right side, through the rib cage, all the way up into your shoulders. Just a nice long stretch. Remember to breathe through your poses. Allowing your lungs to expand as you inhale. And let it all out. Gently with control, raise your legs back up to center. You're going to bend your knees, reach for the outsides of your feet, and take happy baby. If you're comfortable, you can extend one leg at a time, alternating, getting a nice leg stretch. Just waking up our bodies. Get a feel for where you are today, physically, mentally. Settle in to your practice. And from here, we're just going to take a straddle stretch. So you're going to release your feet. The legs are going to come out wide. Hands can come onto the inside of your thighs. And we're just gently helping our legs and our feet fall towards the earth. So a lot of these poses, you may do a standing straddle fold. This is just on our backs, a little more gentle. If this is too much, flip your hands over. You can support your legs from resting your arms into the earth. And just prop your legs up a little bit. You'll still feel the stretch. You'll still get the release in your legs and your hips. And if your hands are on the outsides of your thighs, gently help your legs back to center. We're going to pause here for legs up the wall. Feet are flexed towards the ceiling, towards the sky. In my case, it's towards the ceiling. Pause here. If you want, you can point and flex your ankles. Stretch those out a little bit. Roll your ankles from side to side. Our feet carry us, and our legs do so much work throughout the day. Remember to honor all parts of your body. Come back into stillness. And we're going to take one more Panasana. Knees come into chest. Hug all the way in, just like we started. I naturally start to rock side to side. But you don't have to if that's not comfortable. Again, your back is still flat on the ground. We haven't lifted our shoulders off the ground yet. Legs are in towards the chest. Your ankles can be crossed. They can be next to one another. Whatever is comfortable for you. Take a big breath in. Maybe a little squeeze at the same time. And exhale out. Another big breath in. Exhale out. Another big breath in. And let it out. Now we're going to add a little bit of movement. We're going to slowly and gently lift our neck, shoulders, head off our ground, and begin to rock. If you need to grab hold of the back of your thighs for a little bit of momentum, you can. If this is too much, doesn't feel comfortable, you do not have to rock. We're eventually going to crisscross our legs, come all the way up, crisscross your legs, hands come forward, and stand up into a forward fold. Head lowers towards the earth, palms towards the ground, towards your toes, whatever works here. Clasp opposite elbows, head hangs heavy. Just take it slow here. We're still beginning our practice. If you've clasped your elbows, go ahead and release your hands and begin to rise up into our mountain pose, standing one vertebrae at a time. Arms lift up overhead and release. We're going to do a few more side stretches. Arms are going to reach up overhead. Gaze can look up towards your ceiling. Slight little back bend if that's comfortable. Grasp your opposite arm just below the wrist bone. We're not grabbing on our joints or our wrist. And we're going to lean to the right. Nice stretch in your side body. And come back to center. Clasp the opposite arm. Gently pull and lean to the other side. This would be your left, or whatever side you started with. We mix up our left and rights. You do you and get the other side in. Come back to center. Lace your fingers. Nice big stretch up and reach. Slight gaze towards your ceiling. And go ahead and release. So we should be warming up now. We're going to take a different flow today. We're going to do a little balance here, some leg work, then we'll come back to the mat and come stand back up. So we're going to start with eagle pose. Right arm is going to go under the left. Can't quite see my face anymore. Hopefully you can hear me. You're going to cross your arms, maybe like you're giving yourself a high five. And the left leg is going to come over, cross your leg, kind of like the little kid, I've got to go to the potty dance. And you are going to sink down into your eagle pose. Like when we do chair pose and we take that seat, we're going to lower. Core is engaged. Arms are offering resistance for our upper body. Leg is strong. It's okay if you wobble and waver. Go ahead and release. We're going to take eagle on the other side. This time left arm goes underneath. Give yourself a little high five if you can. I'll turn to the side again. Left leg roots in the ground. Right leg crosses over your left leg as you sink towards the earth into a little baby squat. You'll find one side balance may be stronger, one side may feel different. Again, listen to your body. If this is uncomfortable or too much, simply release from the pose and come into mountain. Go ahead and come out of your eagle. Now we're going to do chair pose. Arms reach up overhead. We sink down like we're taking a seat. I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to come into a power chair. We're going to stay in our seated position as in chair, but you're going to come up on your tippy toes. You may find you need to hinge slightly forward to gain your balance. Core is strong, helping to lift. Arms are engaged, reaching out overhead. This is power chair on your tippy toes. Heels are off the earth. Go ahead and lower your hand or your heels and release. Come back out of your chair. Very good. We're going to do another side twist with chair here in a minute. Arms up overhead. Sink down. Eyes are forward. And we're going to open towards the right and twist. We're going to work our core, stretch our side bodies, rinse and release this core. Give a nice stretch here. Come back to center with your arms. We're still in our chair. Legs are still engaged. Arms are still active and bright. Come to the other side. Open arms. Chair twist. Good. Come back to center and release your chair. Walk it out if you need to a little bit. We're just going to come into a bind. Arms are going to come up into mountain. Come down to forward fold. I'll turn to the side. I'm going to take gorilla if that's comfortable. Hands come under your feet so you're standing on the palms of your hand. Head releases. Gaze looks towards your knees. If this is not comfortable, simply come into a forward fold. Release that bind. You can also take your peace fingers, interlace those around your big toe, and take a bind here as well. I like to go back to gorilla and stand on my feet and allow my head to get heavy. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. If you are in a bind, go ahead and release your hands towards your mat. Into forward fold. And we're going to rise all the way up into our mountain pose. Arms come down to our sides. Good. We should be feeling nice and warm by now. Arms reach up overhead, mountain pose, down, forward fold. Hands reach towards the earth. Plant them on your mat. Halfway lift to flat back. Step back into plank. Nice, strong pose here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And push back into downward facing dog. We're going to take quite a few breaths here. This is our first downward facing dog of the day. If you need to pedal your legs out a little bit, bend your knees. That may feel nice to you. Take another big breath in. Exhale. On the inhale, right leg comes up, and we're going to step forward for extended side angle. Now this is where you may want, a block, something for balance. You can put the block on the outside of your right leg. Your right arm, turn around so you can see me. So we're almost in a lunge. Left leg is long. Left foot comes down towards the earth, and left arm reaches up overhead. You can reach to the ground. You certainly can. Your arm can also rest on your right bent knee. For extended side angle. Now from here, we're going to pivot our back toes. It's often hard to do a revolving side angle, I think, with my foot flat. We're going to come up, and the left elbow is going to come to the outside of our our right bent knee. So we're twisting. Lots of twists today. And go ahead and release. We're going to step back into our downward facing dog. Take a nice release here. And hop or step forward for our forward fold. Pausing just a minute here. And then coming all the way back up. Arms are back down by our sides. We're going to do that one more time. This time on the left leg. Arms come up, mountain, down, forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Plant your hands. Step back to plank. High push-up. Get strong here in your arms. Core is engaged. Couple of breaths here. Push back into downward facing dog. We're always going to breathe a few times here. Down dog can always be a resting pose. You can always drop to your knees and take that child's pose if you need to. This time, left leg kicks up towards the sky. Foot comes through towards the hand. Right heel pivots towards the earth. If you want, certainly can rise up to your knee for your extended side angle. If you have a block or a water bottle, my cat is right in the way, you can reach your left arm towards the floor, down to the earth. But you're creating a nice long line down the right body, right side body, as your right arm reaches and extends up overhead. From here, we'll take our twist, pivot onto your right toes, left leg stays bent at a 90-degree angle, right elbow comes to the outside of your left knee, and twist. Hands are in prayer position. Good. Go ahead and release your arms to the ground. Step back into your downward facing dog. Big breath in and out. Big breath in. Step or walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold. And then rise all the way back up. We'll take that one more time on the right and then one more time on the left. Arms reach up overhead, down, forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Plant your hands, step back into plank. Get strong in your core and your back. Rooted through the hands and the feet. Feel your core. And push back into downward facing dog. Right leg comes up to the sky. Steps forward between your hands. Left heel lowers to the earth. Extended side angle. Left arm and leg. Create a nice long line through your side body. Right elbow can be on the right knee. Your hand can be on a block. It can come all the way to the ground. Whatever is most comfortable for you. A water bottle works great for this pose if you have one nearby. You can rest your right hand alongside your bent right leg. Now we're going to pivot our back leg up onto our toes. Left elbow comes to the outside. Hands are in prayer position as we twist over our bent right knee. Remember to breathe, as this might get a little challenging. Our legs may begin to tire. Good. Go ahead and release your arms down. Hands come to the earth. Step back. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Inhale, and on our next exhale, step, hop, or walk your hands and feet together. Forward fold. Rise all the way up. One more time on the left. Arms reach up overhead. Down into forward fold. Plant your hands. Lift for halfway lift, flat back. Step back into plank. Pause here. Zip up the core. Strong. Back is flat. Core is engaged. Hinge back into downward facing dog. Pause here and take a breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg comes up. Steps through to your hands. Extended side angle. Again, left elbow can be bent on your bent left thigh. Right leg and arm are extended long through this side body, creating a nice long line. You can use that yoga block or water bottle nearby if you want to get a deeper stretch. Your left arm can work towards lowering towards the earth. Or you can find it's good enough on your elbow or on your elbow to your knee. Good. Right toes are going to pivot. Right elbow is going to come to the outside of your left knee. Hands come into prayer position. Revolving side angle. Twisting over the left knee. Go ahead and release your hands to the earth. Step back into downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale. Walk, step, or hop your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Rise all the way up. Good. Getting warmed up now. Arms reach up overhead. Swan dive down. halfway lift to flat back. Plant your hands, step back into that plank, high push-up pose. Feel strong here. Reach back, or push back, excuse me, into your downward facing dog. Now here we're going to take dolphin pose. You can stay in down dog. If dolphin is too much, you are going to soften your knees just a little bit, and forearms are going to come down to the ground. It still has a very similar feel to downward facing dog. This might be a little too intense. You can stay in down dog if you do not want to do dolphin. But soften your knees, lower down to the forearm. We're going to do a split. Left leg comes up into the air. And again, if you're in downward facing dog, you certainly can still lift your left leg. Kick back. Your foot is flexed, pushing back through your left leg. Go ahead and lower down. Take that on the other side. And push back through your heels. Right leg is strong and engaged. Breathing. And down. Go ahead and lower down to child's pose. Big toes come together. Knees out wide. Belly, chest, forehead come to the earth. And rest. We're going to do that one more time. So come up to all fours. Meet in a tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Push back, starting in your downward facing dog. Remember, if this is enough, you can choose to stay here. If you would like to try dolphin, soften your knees. Lower to the forearms. Look towards your knees, towards your ankles. Take a split on the left. Left leg kicks up towards the sky. Foot is flexed. As you push back and out. Good. Lower your foot to the ground. Right leg kicks up and back. So taking splits, either in dolphin or downward facing dog. Lower your right foot to the ground, knees come down. Take a child's pose. Knees are out wide. Big toes are touching. Belly and chest sink towards the earth. Forehead comes to the mat. And just breathe. From here, we're going to extend forward on our tummies. We're going to rest with your left cheek on your mat. So you're laying on your stomach, arms are alongside. And you're going to lift up, shoulders, feet, rise up into locust. Gaze is towards the floor. If this is too much, leave your feet on the ground. You simply can lift your chest. You can bring your hands to the small of your back. Or you can come into full locust, lifting your chest and your feet off the ground. Good. Go ahead and release. Lay your right cheek to your mat. Turn your head in opposite direction. Release your neck a little bit here. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Chest comes up, arms come up. Locust. One more time. Good. Lower your head, shoulders back to the earth. Stretching out. And we're going to try bow, or half bow, I should say. So chest and tummy remain on the ground. I simply take my right hand, reach for my right foot. If this is enough, stay here. If you can lift off the ground, you can do half bow on the right, or you can take full bow, left hand reaches back to your left foot, chest reaches back off the ground. Good. Go ahead and release. Lower legs down. Head comes to the ground. Lay your right cheek onto your mat. And take a breath here a minute. Go ahead and take bow on the left. Left hand reaches back towards your left foot. You can simply stay here. If you want to begin to lift your chest off the earth, you can take half bow on the left. And if full bow is in your practice, grab your right leg and lift up. Nice. Go ahead and release. Head, legs, everything comes down. Take a minute here. We're going to push back to one more child's pose. Releasing our back. Big toes come together. Knees are out wide. Forehead comes to the mat. Chest, belly sink towards the earth. Go ahead and inhale up to tabletop on all fours. Pausing here a minute. And then push back into downward facing dog. Go ahead and step your feet towards your hand. Forward fold. Rise all the way up to mountain. Arms are going to come up one more time overhead. Swan dive down. Forward fold. Go ahead and lower and take a seat on your bum. Legs are outstretched long. We're going to reach up overhead. Just do forward fold here. If you have a block nearby and you want an additional stretch, you can place that behind flexed feet and grab on for a bit more resistance. You can simply let your head fall heavy toward your knees. Releasing your head, neck, and spine. Slowly rise up. Tall back. We're going to lower down onto our backs. We're going to take legs up the wall. Our legs are going to reach towards the sky. Arms are alongside our bodies. Feet are flexed up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. Just stretch here a minute. Remember to breathe through your poses. Listen to your body. Feel if your heart rate has come up a lot. Go back to that even, rhythmic Ujjayi breath. In through your nose and out through your nose. Next, we're going to channel our inner Pilates here a minute and do a bit of core work, not a ton. We've been working our core without even knowing it. But we're going to lift our shoulders off the ground. Arms are still reaching out. And if you've done Pilates, you may know this is the 100. We're just going to pulse our arms 10 times with our palms down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flip your palms up and do little baby pulses again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do that on your own breath, on your count, until you're at 100. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So legs are up in the air like legs up the wall. Head, neck, and shoulders are off the ground. If this is too much, lower your head and shoulders down and just tiny baby pulses with your hands, like you're pushing down towards the earth and then reaching up towards the sky. One more set here. Good. Go ahead and lower your arms. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little massage. And from here, if you have a block or that pillow or even a folded blanket nearby, we're going to take a similar position as legs up the wall, but you're going to put that block under the small of your back. Arms are still alongside. This is prep work for a shoulder stand. So we're not going into a shoulder stand today. If this is in your practice and you're comfortable, you certainly may go into shoulder stand, but this is just a prep here. So I have a block under the small of my back. You could fold up your mat, tuck it under. You simply could take legs up the wall for another minute or so while we're here. I have a soft foam block. The thicker cork ones are a little firm for this, but like I said, a couch cushion or a pillow works fabulous. I think my cat is sleeping on our pillow though nearby. Go ahead and remove the block or pillow that is under you. Legs are going to come down. Knees are going to come up. Feet are flat on the ground. We're going to come into bridge pose. Arms are going to reach towards your ankles as your hips and your chest lift off the ground into bridge pose. We're active in our legs, pushing through our heels. It's tempting to crunch our toes into the mat here. Try to lift your toes up a little bit if you can. Let those quads do the work, pushing up and through your legs. Reach your hands towards your ankles and go ahead and lower down. Take a breath here. Inhale. Let it all out. We're going to take bridge one more time. Lifting up. Active legs. Go ahead and try and really squeeze your glutes a minute and then release. Let your quads do the work here. I know we all want tight butts, but in this pose we want the work to come from our legs right now. Good, good, good. One more breath here. And lower back down. Knees are going to come together. Feet come out wide. Releasing our legs a little bit here. Hands are simply resting on your tummy. From here, we're going to come back into that little ball we started with. Hug it in. Slowly come into happy baby. So a little pausing point here. Grab, hands come to the outside of your feet. Knees are bent. Legs are wide. Happy baby. You want to stretch one leg out from side to side. Some yogis call this dead bug. Personally, I think happy baby is much better, but if you want to be a dead bug, to each their own. Good. From here, bring your legs together. Shins are parallel to the ground. And we're going to drop our knees, bent 90-degree angle over to the right. Left arm is out long. Gaze looks towards your left hand. We did a lot of twisting. We snuck in some side work, some core, some abs. Let's stretch it out here. Gently lift your legs back to center, pausing, shins parallel at the ground. Left hand comes to the outside of your right knee as you guide your legs over towards the left. A nice side twist. Gaze looks out long. over your right arm. Feeling the stretch in your side body, reaching your right arm out long. Again, this is a lovely little stretch to do in the morning when waking up, even before you get out of bed. Lift your legs back to center. Bring it in for one more hug, one more big squeeze. Gentle rocking side to side, much like we started our practice, hugging in our legs. Now take one big inhale, squeezing everything in, legs towards our chest, and let it all out as we extend into Shavasana. Legs stretch out long, arms fall heavy alongside our body as we come into our final resting pose. Allow your body to sink into your mat and to rest in Shavasana. Slowly begin to bring awareness into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently roll your ankles and your wrists. And slowly roll onto the right side into a little fetal position. Pausing here for a moment. And from there, gently come up into a comfortable seated position. You may keep your eyes closed. You can open your eyes as you reawaken. Hands can come to heart center. Thank all of you for joining me, for setting aside time for your practice, for coming to your mat this evening and practicing yoga in your body for yourself, honoring you tonight. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate all of you joining me. Namaste. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. I will keep you posted on the next virtual yoga session. Thanks, folks.